Billy Badass Butter TV, y'all. Billy Badass Butter TV. I'm all over it. Like, yeah, man. What we got? One more minute, man. One more minute, man. Let's get it. Yeah, man. Let's go on and get started, man. Let's go on and get started, man, because you know, Jay-Z's attorneys is asking for dismissal of the shenanigans, man. They're tired of the shenanigans and they want the dismissal, man. I don't know if they're gonna get the dismissal, but they're asking for the dismissal. Jay-Z's lawyers held a press conference today, and they went down the timeline, you know, of all the inconsistencies in the story. And I have to say, when I heard the lady's story on the news 2 nights ago, I was real leery, y'all. This woman says she's a 38-year-old woman from Alabama. And in the year 2000, she was 13. When she was 13, she was in New York. She got a ride in New York from, what they say, Manhattan to the VMAs Awards. Did she have a ticket? No, she ain't had no ticket. She just was going to get in with her good looks, because that's the way she thought at 13. Excuse me. I did the math, and if she's 38 today telling her story, that would make her 14 at the time of the so-called incident, right? Okay, no big deal. Maybe she forgot she was a year off, right? But then she also gave another red flag. She says she's autistic. Now I want to know, what's an autistic girl, 14-year-old, doing alone out of the house? You're autistic. Not only are you out of the house, but they say she's from Alabama. Now, if she's from Alabama, how the hell did she get to New York? Somebody say, oh, well, she had her friend drive her to New York and it took 10 hours. No, it didn't take no damn 10 hours to get from no motherfucking Alabama to New York. And why would your friend drive you from Alabama to New York without your mom, without their people knowing? Like, what kind of sense did that make, man? But we're going to go on and get into it. We're going to let the press conference talk about it, because I'm just watching it like y'all. So, Billy Badass Butter TV, man. Y'all like, share, subscribe, all that old good stuff, man. We're going to get into it, man. Yeah. Yes, sir, man. I got this shit ready. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to pop in with OG Jacario once again, because he did the video yesterday and today. And yeah, this is the video I found real strange, y'all. I found this real strange. Okay, so
you should always advocate for yourself.
Listen to the victim
and be a voice for yourself. You should never.
She hiding
what somebody else
because she's scared for her life.
Run your
this
life.
Was the other day on the news.
A 38-year-old mother from Alabama who has filed a lawsuit accusing Combs and Jay-Z of raping her.
She
said,
she was
13 years old, speaking out to NBC News for
Alabama.
the first time.
What you doing in New York? You from Alabama?
What made you want to come forward and talk today?
Wait a minute.
Because.
Wait a minute. Why she didn't ask her what made her leave from Alabama to New York?
And it's been hard enough to be quiet, but it's a chapter of my life that I'd like to close.
An NBC News review of her account found inconsistencies with her allegations. She says that she went to the MTV Video Music Awards in 2000 to catch a glimpse of her favorite celebrities.
Right.
You weren't scared to be all alone?
No, with having autism
With having autism.
Is like feeling like you live your life in a shatterproof.
So she asked her, weren't you scared to be at the VMA all alone? Why you didn't ask her how she got to the VMA from her home state? Because they never say, oh, she's from Alabama, but her mom and daddy then moved to New York. Or she's from Alabama, but her mom and daddy them had a divorce and her dad lived in New York and her mama stayed in Alabama and she was with her father for the summer. Because y'all got to remember, this is a kid. This is a kid. This is not no adult. This is a kid that they say is autistic. But she's setting up rides to the award show and knocking on limousine windows and walking up on mansions and in New York just by herself? What? Oh, she got a ride, but the person who gave her a ride died. Go figure. Go figure.
Ball. The world's on fire. The fire is inside the ball with you, but there's no way for you to get out.
In addition to having autism, the woman says she suffered a head injury. The night of the 2000s VMAs, she says a friend drove her from Rochester, New York to Manhattan, a more than 5-hour drive. Her attorney provided NBC News with the name of the friend who has since died.
Oh,
you shot straight.
Okay.
You shot late.
So the friend died.
The Rundown Podcast.
So the friend died, y'all. The friend died that gave her a ride from Rochester, New York to Manhattan, right? Please, somebody explain to me how she got from Alabama to the state of New York at 14 with autism. Okay. All right, let's get that out of the way. That's a big obstacle. Not whether she was scared or not. Obviously, she wasn't scared, news lady. She just told you she ain't even had no ticket. She ain't had no ticket, but she popped up. She popped up on them, on her favorite celebrities. Just let her continue.
I'm going to give you the rundown.
All right, I'm give you the rundown. Give him the rundown.
The woman says she spoke to Combs's limo driver, who offered her a ride to an after party.
Limo driver.
Upon Diddy's driver, who told me that I was exactly what Diddy was looking for.
Ooh,
What did you think when he said that to you?
I thought it meant that I was just pretty.
She went to a White House, she says.
She went to a White House. Listen how she calling him Diddy. And you know what's cold? You know what's cold too? In 2000, they were still calling the nigga Puff Daddy. They weren't calling Diddy. Diddy wasn't calling himself Diddy. Diddy didn't change his name. He changed his name a few times. But you gotta remember, Diddy was still kind of new. They started Bad Boy in the late 90s. 97, 98, 99, 2000, he's still fucking Puff Daddy. But she knew him as Diddy back then. Stop it. Stop it, lady. Stop it.
Spoke to musicians Benji Madden and his brother.
I'm
Benji Madden.
Benji Madden about his tattoo because I have about his tattoo that's the Last Supper.
I don't even know who Benji Madden is.
Religious background,
but he's in Diddy's living room and his brother.
Something to talk about.
In a statement to NBC News, a representative of the Maddens confirmed that they did not attend the 2000
They
VMAs
weren't there.
And that they were on tour in the Midwest at the time.
They weren't there.
At the after party, she says she had a drink that made her feel woozy. And she says Combs and Carter took turns with her while a female celebrity watched.
Ooh, that's terrible.
Comes in.
That's some bad shit, bro.
And me.
Oh.
Well, he at that point I was fighting, trying to get away from him. and he put his hand over my mouth
Oh,
and
his
told me
hand
to
over.
stop it, cut the
Stop it,
alleged
cut the
she
shit
says
out.
she ran to a
That's
gas
what
station.
one of
She
them,
called her father.
one of the
He
gangster
picked her up
rappers
and
told
drove
her,
her home.
stop it,
He
cut the
rode
shit
home in
out.
silence. He didn't ask me what happened. He didn't ask me what I did or where I was.
In an interview with NBC News, her father said he could not verify the claims. Quote, I felt like I would.
Now stop. Now see now y'all hear that shit? Supposedly she called her father, who picked her up. He drove 5 hours to get her, and they drove another 5 hours back in silence. Dad don't want to know where you been, daughter. You're autistic and you're 14. How did you get out of the house, daughter? No, Dad don't even remember this, y'all. And this is how you know it's some bullshit. The dad know his daughter lying, but he don't want to mess up the chance of getting the money. So what's he say? I don't remember. Oh, you'd remember something like that, Pops. You'd remember picking your daughter up late night in New York and driving 5 hours there and 5 hours back in silence. You would remember that, Father, but you don't know what to say. That's why he told the news he could not corroborate the stories. He's got a lot going on in his life right now. How you don't remember no shit like that, boy? That's some major stuff. Major stuff, man. Man. But what people will say, man, to be a part of something. To be a part of something.
Remember that, and I don't. I have a lot going on.
I
but
feel like I
it's
would
something that will
remember
definitely
that,
stick in my
but I
mind, she said.
don't.
When we asked the woman about the contradictions in a phone interview on Friday, she said that she stands by her statements.
Mm-hmm.
I have made some mistakes, she said.
Okay.
Honestly, what is the clearest is what happened to me. The
Oh,
inconsistencies in her account of an incident alleged to have happened 24 years ago
24
does not
years.
necessarily mean the allegations are false.
Mm-mm.
The accuser's attorney, Tony Busby, said, because we have interrogated her intensely, she has even agreed to submit to a polygraph. This has been extremely distressing for her.
So that's another thing. The polygraph, the polygraph is scheduled for her to take I think tomorrow. What's today? Today's Tuesday, so Wednesday. Yeah, I think Wednesday or Thursday, the court has set a polygraph stenographer to see if she's telling the truth or not. But we all know that Tony Busby, attorney, is a scumbag. We know that he lies. He's been caught in lies. He's been caught coercing clients. We already know that. The stories are inconsistent. What her and her father is saying, but he gonna say because we interrogated her intensively, she has even agreed. Man, get the fuck out of here, Tony Busby. Get the fuck out of here.
She has experienced
Hey, look,
seizures and had.
and I have to say this as a disclaimer. I don't fuck with you. I don't even like JC. I'm a West Coast nigga, man. I don't even like. Listen, man. I'm on the fence with this. People who do bad things to kids should be X'd out. Not no jail time. Yada. They should be gone. Then we don't have to worry about sex offenders reoffending, because as we all know, the criminal justice system don't do nothing but let the motherfuckers right back out. They don't do nothing. I don't care how many essays or they got on their record. They let these fools out. It's gang members and niggas and drug dealers and niggas, people that look like me, that they want to lock up and throw away the key for a little bit of nothing. Yeah, that's right. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about We talking about a 25-year-old essay, supposedly. But she can't even get the story right. Well, that's fine. That's fine. We understand that. Victims often don't remember trauma. Trauma is traumatizing and messes up your memory. But the dad didn't have no trauma happen to him. And like he said, I feel like I would remember that. But I got a lot going on in my life right now, so I can't remember any of it. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Had to seek medical treatment due to the stress. In a statement to NBC News, Sean Carter said this incident didn't happen, and yet
This
he
was
filed
3
it in
days
court
ago
and
too,
doubled down
y'all.
in the press. True justice is coming. We fight from victory, not for victory.
Is any part of you scared?
Is any
Coming
part
out
of you
against such
scared?
powerful people?
Coming out against such powerful people?
I'm scared of what could happen, but I'm more afraid of letting it eat me alive from the inside out than I am of, being chastised by their fans.
By their fans?
Malas joining us now.
Wait a minute. Did she just say what I thought she said?
What else are you hearing from him?
Did she just say what I thought she said? That she's scared of being terrorized by their fans? See, that's that dumb shit. The lady asked you, were you afraid of coming out against such powerful people? That means you should be afraid for your life from the star, from the abuser, not from their fucking fans, bro. That's how you know she living in a fantasy. Fuck you mean I'm scared of his fans? I'm scared of their fans. Fuck they fans. Fuck they fans. Especially if these motherfuckers really did something to you. Fuck a fan. I would be talking shit to the fans. Y'all like you, fuck you fans. You like them motherfuckers and they did whoop-de-whoop. Man, get the fuck out of here. And you scared of being fit? Man,
So his attorney said that they're going to ask the court to, quote, dismiss this frivolous case. And also months ago, we heard from Diddy's legal team, and I want to read you some of what they said. They said,
now, we ain't listening to Diddy's legal team, y'all. But what we are going to go to is Jay-Z's attorneys from earlier today. They did hold their press conference. So let's get into it.
Trying to evaluate.
Let's get into that.
Occurred. You have to look at different pieces of the narrative: the location where it happened, the witnesses, who were they, what did they say, the details. Details are very important.
I'm gonna be quiet for a second while I light my doobie.
So,
like my dubious doobie.
And according to their complaint, after approximately 20 minutes, she arrived at a White House with a U-shaped driveway and a gate.
Right.
There is no such
That's what she said.
In New York, 20 minutes from Radio City. It does not exist.
That don't exist.
There's no such location.
Y'all, the place don't exist.
We don't know whether they created a location in order to try to get jurisdiction in New York so they could bring this to New York, or they just didn't do their homework. But any New Yorker knows there is no such location.
So the place that she said happened that don't exist. The Madden, the Benji Madden and his brother, who she said were in the first room she went in, that she sat and had this long conversation with because she remembers, because she's such a Christian and they were Christians and they had a cross tattoo or something, and she remembers that. So she remembers that. Well, they weren't there. So that didn't happen. They said they were on the other side of the world during the 2000 Video Music Awards. Okay? So there you have that part too. Dad say he don't remember. Now, the place where it was supposed to have happened don't exist. All right? That's where we are with these nasty allegations.
This was supposed to have taken place at Mr. Combs' after party, according to them.
Yeah.
When you look at the homes associated with Mr. Combs during that period of time, and even not during that period of time, none of them matches. He had a townhouse. He had a house.
Also remember during the year 2000, Sean Combs was still going by Puff Daddy, not Diddy, not Brother Love, not nothing else. He was Puff Daddy. That's who he was when he first started, and 2000 was still recent from his start. He was still Puff Daddy. Nobody knew him as Diddy in the year 2000.
The Hamptons, hours away.
Google these
and he had
nuts.
homes in New Jersey, but not at that time. None of the homes work. The location doesn't work because this never happened. And again, when you really bear down on the location and its whereabouts, you quickly realize, because if there's photographic evidence and witnesses are coming forward, that Mr. Carter was at a commercial establishment.
Y'all like, share, subscribe. It'd be a lot of people watching that ain't subscribers. Have y'all seen this?
They needed to create this.
Have y'all seen this attorney?
He wasn't at a White House that did not exist. And this is a photograph.
Don't exist.
At a location.
Don't exist.
So as we can continue through this, that Jane Doe does not say that the assault happened at a commercial establishment. She can't. That doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make any sense. It has to be a White House with a U-shaped driveway. Doesn't exist. Then we get to the witness.
And I think at the outset, everybody has to remember that in 24 years, not a single witness has ever come forward saying this happened. A quarter of a century. Think about that. She says she's at the party alone, this 13-year-old girl, and she finds herself in the room with the three most people at the party. Think about how unnatural,
it was 13, y'all.
Common sense that makes.
Right.
And according to her, one of the witnesses is a female celebrity.
Right.
Just standing there.
Well, she don't remember, but we also have to. I have to let y'all know. She says she's 38 today. 24 years from 38 is 14. It's not 13, it's 14. She is a year off in her age, and that could all be a coincidence, or it could be that lawyer Tony Busby's math was off with this witness that he got hiding in the shadows. We don't even know what she looked like.
Rape of a child. That celebrity does nothing, says nothing, reports nothing. That's terrible. And in fact, they won't.
These guys can keep saying that.
According to
Bleep
them,
my
there's an
channel.
adult female in the room watching the rape of a child. They refuse to identify her.
Right.
So then we continue, and you
And
look
she
at
mad.
the celebrities that she says she's mingling with before. Afterwards, she says she runs out of the house naked. None of them notice that. None of them pay any notice. For 24 years, none of them has said anything. And so she's just asked in this interview.
Benji Madden said he wasn't there.
Well, I mean, celebrities are recognizable people. Surely you can tell us one celebrity that was there. Just give us one name so that we know this happened. And she says, okay. Benji Madden is there.
Right.
And she wants to conjure up religion and say, I'm religious. I remember his tattoo. She looks and remembers so vividly the tattoo and the conversation.
So vividly, she said. In the news interview, she said.
There. Yeah. He already said he wasn't there. His tour schedule said he wasn't there.
Tour schedule.
He wasn't
there on tour
because this never happened.
Wow.
None of this ever happened. And you keep going and you ask yourself, well, who is this complaining witness? She does not come forward with her real name. She proceeds under Jane Doe.
What?
There's no report to the police. According to her, she never tells anybody for 24 years. Not one person, not alone in the car for 5 hours at home, on her way home. Not one person, not a diary, not a family member, not a friend. Most people, when this happens, there's a need to tell somebody. We call these prompt outcry witnesses. In most complaints like this, people tell somebody.
Wow.
She says nobody for 24, 25 years.
Right.
And then we get the details. And I want to make sure this is clear. When people make up an account, whether intentionally or their mind is playing tricks on them,
let me see.
they can always get that core part of the story. They just keep repeating
comment. Here I come.
over and over again.
Let me see. Comment. Let me get to you.
But they're always going to mess up.
Hi, Ruth. So
something isn't
hey,
real, something doesn't
Tahada,
happen, you're going to get the details wrong.
can't
You weren't
sleep.
Really there.
LOL. First
And so
time
it
here.
starts
How you
with
doing?
a story
Welcome
about a
in.
friend that dropped her off.
Thanks for stopping
Okay?
by, man.
This
I don't even
drive
like doing
over
these
5
type of
hours.
stories. I
Friend
don't like
would have
essays, and I don't like
10
people
plus
who hurt
hours
kids.
to drop her off.
But
Because she's got to get there.
Jay-Z and
She's
them
got to get there. But guess
is
what? This
being
friend
accused
of
of some heinous stuff,
she doesn't get out of the
and
car.
come to find out that
Right? Think about
this
that. She's
victim
leaving a
and the
13-year-old girl
lawyer
alone in Midtown.
are
She doesn't want to get out
literally
of the car. She came all that.
not
There
making
can't
any
be a witness
sense
there.
about the
She can't have a witness
claims.
there because it's never
So they're
happened.
asking for a
So as you
dismissal
keep
tomorrow.
going,
And
you ask yourself, but how did
kudos
she
to
end up
them,
in
man.
the car in the first place? And so she creates this.
so I heard her
story. She says,
interview
"I snuck out
yesterday on the
window,"
news, and she was
right?
tripping.
But now we
This
know
is
she
just
came to
crazy shit.
Rochester. So she would have been sneaking out of the window
Right.
at 3 p.m. in the middle of broad daylight.
Right.
Never heard of such a thing. Defies common sense. Doesn't make any sense because
Right.
this never happened. And so she tells this story because she's got to create a way that she gets out of the house and ends up in New York City. And as we keep going here, the friend that impulsively leaves her there,
Right.
there's then some pressure on that
Right.
part of the story. This doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Now the
And so
friend
the lawyer
that
is
took her
asked,
there
"Well, just produce the friend." So he has to find somebody
suddenly dead.
that can make this work. And of course,
friend
as
is
soon
dead.
as he's pressed, they find somebody who they say is no longer alive. They can't corroborate.
The
it.
friend is dead. The person who drove her there,
And if we can keep going,
gone. No
Next
longer. We can't ask them
So-
nothing.
she then gets there, right? And she has this vivid tale of watching it on a jumbotron. It's in her complaint.
Right.
Clear as day.
Right.
There was no jumbotron that year.
Jumbo.
Okay?
No.
I don't know whether they were Googling images and found the wrong year. I don't know whether
She called him Diddy. He wasn't even called. His name
He
wasn't
didn't get a
Diddy
permit.
back in 2000. In the year 2000, he was still Puff Daddy.
None of the
I
details.
don't think he
right.
changed
This
his
never
name to
happened.
like
You keep going.
2010.
And then she says, "I'm knocking on
2010 he
the doors
changed
and the
his
windows of limousines and VIPs. Of course, that doesn't work either. If you look at the
You
video,
can't just walk up with no
photographs,
limousine
that whole area
window.
was blocked off. We've spoken to numerous people there that were in
The
security.
whole
No one
area
could
was
have gotten
blocked
anywhere
off.
near
The
those
area
cars
she said she's
because
walking through.
This never happened. She gets that fact wrong.
Oh,
And you know the whole story about, of all people, she knocks on Puff's window.
Puff's window,
13-year-old
right?
girl
Just
in Midtown by herself.
13,
Just think
yeah.
about that. Think about how illogical that is.
And
going?
and the limousine driver looked at her and said,
All
"Oh,
the cars
wait right
barricaded.
here. Puff is
Fast
looking
don't
for
check out.
a
This
girl
never happened.
just like you."
So
No,
what ends
Diddy
up happening
is.
then, and this is important,
Diddy's looking
is
for a
her
girl just
original
like
account
you.
in the original
Why
complaint
you just didn't give
says
me the
that
limo
after
then? Why would he
10,
tell you wait here on the
she's
cold
told to wait there
corner?
to get a ride to the after.
Yeah, why would he tell you to wait?
That also doesn't work.
Get in the
Because
limo
there's photographs
because
now,
now can't nobody see her.
Mr. Combs, Mr. Carter,
Come
at
on, man.
commercial establishments in New York after the VMAs.
Right.
So this narrative of at 10 o'clock she ends up at this party can't work.
See, but this
They got
lawyer,
caught.
he's not for Sean Combs,
So
so
they
he
changed
can't.
it in the amended complaint.
He messed
That
up right
there's
there.
this
He wasn't
multiple
supposed to mention
drop-off
Combs.
and pickup that
He's only
that's the
Jay-Z's
White House
lawyer,
that
nigga.
doesn't exist.
Combs is really charged with some other shit. Jay-Z don't want no part of this shit.
This is again her account of trying to change the story into this multiple drop-off period to get them at the house to deal with the fact that
Right,
there's
multiple drop-off
photographic
period.
evidence that that's not where the after party was in the first place.
Right,
And so as this account continues,
yeah.
you have to look at the timeline. You have to look at the timeline.
Yeah,
So there's an old expression that time doesn't lie.
right.
Everything else that I'm talking about, these glaring inconsistencies, these are not minor inconsistencies. These are not minor problems with these stories.
No,
this is
not at
utter
all.
falsehoods.
These are
Time never lies. And so if you look at the time,
there's allegations
No matter what,
allegations
this
concerning
couldn't
3
have happened.
periods.
It's not even possible that this happened. And this
How
is so
and when
So again, now that we know that it's
Yeah.
a 5-hour drive,
Joe,
in each direction,
she allegedly
how
got
she
there,
gets to
right?
VMAs. Okay,
Right.
we're going to talk into
Look,
the details
how
about
and
this
when
White House and whether or not they could have
Right.
gotten there.
No, I
And
want
then
to
again,
look. How does she return
go
home to
from
Rochester,
home.
New York? How does she get to Rochester?
To Rochester.
Who lived in
Okay,
Rochester?
and this is
I
very
thought
important because
they
she
said
returns
she's
home,
from
she has to
Alabama.
leave the New York area by 1:30 in the morning.
She's from Alabama.
Okay. If you look at any of these
What's she
White
doing in
Houses, you look at
Rochester?
the closest gas stations.
That's what
to
I want to
any of
know.
these White
Somebody
Houses.
just
You have to
please
leave
let me
this,
know how she got to
White House
Rochester,
party
New York.
by
Her
12:45.
dad lived
In
there.
order to get to the gas station 1:30 to call your father to pick you up to get home to Rochester
Right.
at 6:30. So remember, she only has till 12:45 for
Mhm.
everything that she says to happen. The VMAs end at after 11.
Yeah.
So you're talking about a window of a little more than an hour that this could possibly happen, even by their own account.
Yeah.
She says during that little bit more than an hour, not only does she get to the house, not only is she inside mingling with celebrities,
Right.
she has a drink. She's then sexually assaulted in front of
Twice.
a female multiple times.
She fought with Combs.
Of that, she fights through it.
She
leaves
fought
the
with
house
Diddy,
naked.
and then she ran out of the house naked.
She had 37 minutes
All
to possibly do this.
the white residents, all within
And even under their
at
account.
most 37 minutes.
And of course, the biggest problem, perhaps of all, is there's photographs putting Mr. Combs and Mr. Carter in different places,
Right.
not in a White
See,
House.
they ain't even talking about that.
So when I
They
tell you
they
that
can produce
it's not
those
just that
receipts
the story is a lie,
of this
and
night.
it's not true. It's
So-
probably demonstrably
So while these
false. This never
Diddy,
happened.
while Diddy and
So
Jay-Z both
we talked about
might
the
be
37
monsters,
The earliest, even if
this
we didn't have
this ain't the one that's gonna sink them. This
remember,
not this
it's
one, no.
innocence on top of innocence. Even
They're
if we
gonna have to
didn't
get some
that,
new victims.
according to her,
Cause this
the earliest they could have gotten to
this
the house
one-
is 12:11.
this one victim,
The reason for that is
she not right.
the VMA's end.
She says she
The drive is
autistic.
20 minutes. The driver has to go there, drop them off, come back.
She
pick her up,
autistic and she
bring her
climbed
back.
out her
You can't get
bedroom
there.
window
And
at
again,
3 in the
this is lickety split.
afternoon
This is as fast as is possible.
and just
okay? This is no
wandered
traffic
to the
being wasted
VMA
in Midtown
awards
during an award
with
ceremony.
no ticket.
12:11. She
No
has to
ticket.
leave that white resident by 12:48 in order for her.
They wouldn't let her in.
37 minutes.
So
That's
she
the
watched
entire
her on the
window of
Jumbotron.
opportunity here.
Like
So
a movie, like 5-0,
here again is the timeline.
like
Shows
all
the
American.
11:11 VMA's end,
All
drop off,
American.
the pickup, and the drop off. Next slide. And again, here we are. You see the 37 minutes.
He got the
This is
timeline,
the
nigga.
42 minutes it takes to walk. This is the closest gas station.
Right,
And this is, remember this is a 13-year-old girl
right.
walking,
Walking.
who has issues, who is
Been
maybe drugged
trauma-
to her,
traumatized
just
and drugged.
multiple
Yep.
times, who
Yep,
was
twice.
holding her own clothing, trying to get to a
Yeah.
gas station that she had never been before.
right.
No map, no cell phone, no nothing.
Yeah.
Straight line, it's 42 minutes.
42 minutes.
The story doesn't work, it doesn't check out. Okay, this never happened. Next slide. These are all the things that they claim happened at 37 minutes. Okay, and again, 37 is giving them every benefit of the doubt as how long this window could be. Every benefit of the doubt.
Man, he trying this
But here's an
like he's in trial right now.
There are
Jay-Z
photographs
lawyer working
of
for
Mr.
his money.
Carter and Mr. Combs at commercial establishments.
I ain't heard Puffy lawyer do no shit
They're
like
not
this
there.
yet.
Even if you try to come up with the fastest possible timeline.
Nigga,
I'm
he in
talking
here
about
Perry
the
Mason on you, boy.
Nobody getting at the door,
Yeah.
right to the bar kind
Right.
of timeline. It still doesn't work.
Look, he in
They
here
had to
Perry
leave Radio
Mason.
City. They had
This
to
is
go to the
it's on
commercial
Forbes
establishment.
too.
Mr. Combs is
I don't
going
own the
down
rights
two
to Forbes, but
different
this is
commercial
public
establishments.
domain,
Jet
man.
Pro has
This is
two
public
establishments. They
information,
had to go
Forbes.
to both of those
So don't be trying to
establishments
strike my
and get
account.
back to the White
That's
House.
bullshit, man.
Get back to the White House before she has
And
to
I'm
leave.
showing everybody else while I watch it.
None of this can work.
Like y'all like,
And in
share,
fact,
subscribe
I think
too,
it's
man. 'Cause
very
they gonna try to
important.
strike.
You will notice in the
Showing y'all
photographs,
this,
Miss
man.
Lopez changes clothing
Showing y'all.
between the two events that they go to. You
Watch out.
can
Watch
see
out,
in
brother.
one photograph, she's wearing one outfit and another. So she had to be able to, in this 40-minute window, get to multiple events.
Yeah.
They're seen drinking, socializing. She has to change outfits, change her hair, all within 40 minutes to get to that White House in time. And you're saying to yourself, so that's not possible, right? It's not possible. It's because this never happened.
Yeah. He started all that because it
And then
never
we get to
happened.
the end.
'Cause it
She kept
never
running
happened.
until she reached a gas station.
Look.
A female clerk noticed her, allowed her
Right.
to use the phone.
Yeah,
Plaintiff
that's what the
called her
police
father,
said.
admitted
That's what the
she had
news
lied
said.
about her whereabouts.
NBC reported.
This is a
Yeah,
very small thing,
That's-
very small.
yeah, but they
But
reported.
remember,
The
when you
news
leave house
reported
and you're
that.
13, you have to have a story. You either
Yeah.
have to sneak out and
Yeah.
not have a lie,
Right.
or you tell your parents a lie. Sort of two options, right?
Two officers. Yeah.
Earlier, she says, well, I didn't tell my parents a lie. I just snuck out the window,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yeah.
Here, she says, well, I lied.
Ooh.
See, do you know what that means? That means she's lying even within her own story.
Right.
They can't both be true. And I said
according to the address, Rochester, New York, time her father would have driven more than 5 hours from their home to pick her up.
The person who knows her best.
Yeah.
And
I feel like I would remember that. That's what the dad said.
This never happened.
I feel like I would remember that, he said.
And his attention was drawn to
and I don't. Why
Like
didn't he just say, my daughter's telling y'all some bullshit? Why he just didn't say that? Why would he tell the police and the news? I feel like I would remember that.
Said, yeah, I have a lot going on.
You don't remember, dude.
Of course it would stick in your mind. You drove 10 hours to pick up your 13-year-old daughter.
Are you serious? And y'all drove home in silence, she said.
This never happened. And of course, just like the friend
that would remember that.
You can't have a witness to something that never happened. When asked, what did you say to your father in the car?
Shit,
what did you talk about?
Right.
Nothing.
Nothing.
She says not a word was spoken.
Not a word.
There can't
not a thank you for getting me. Not a take me to the hospital, Dad. I've been.
And so,
you feel me?
You got to ask yourself.
Dad, I'm in trouble. And she's autistic, y'all, and 13. Autistic and 13. Don't leave
she's holding
those
a teddy bear. She's talking about her issues, her head trauma. She's been through a lot in her life, you can tell. And so, who took advantage of this?
Somebody at her house.
Why is this story getting created? And I'll tell you who took advantage of this.
Who?
This lawyer took advantage.
Oh, Busby.
That's what's going on here.
Busby.
Here, this is starting to unravel.
Tony Busby.
He's starting to walk away from it. He's saying, "Oh, sorry, this case was referred to our firm by another firm, so I didn't really check it out."
Is that what he's saying?
Right? He brings an accusation like this, attacks a man with the integrity of Mr. Carter, and all he has to say for himself now is, "Well, I didn't really check on this. I got a referral, trying to make a little bit of money.
Yeah.
So we just went live with it."
Oh no! Boy, that's our America today, y'all.
We went live.
It's perception.
In the face of this,
it ain't about truth no more.
He went
live. You perceive the truth.
And again, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
It's 37 minutes. It does not work. It does not work because there's photographs. There's photographs.
They said Tony Busby,
they're changing clothes.
The victim's lawyer, throwing her under the bus now, talking about.
That for her to go
to
events,
we were referred.
Have drinks. They're socializing.
We were referred this case. We didn't vet it.
Out into the suburbs.
But remember,
that doesn't exist.
Earlier in the video, that same lawyer said we interrogated her so much, and she getting ready to take a lie detector
this lawyer, he doesn't care about things like this.
Wow.
The only other person he's brought a complaint against for just mere association,
it's
merely being at a Sean Combs party, he's already been wrong about that one too. He had to change that one. If you look at the next slide, he got the year wrong. He said there was a party in the Hamptons. Mr. Combs was in Saint-Tropez at the time. Didn't check out. 2 claims, neither are checking out.
What?
We could keep going.
Boy, ain't no.
And we have
Barry Mason on y'all.
Individuals calling my office, telling me story after story, and I'm not going to get sidetracked. People think I'm going to.
The boy Barry Mason on y'all.
Grifter and all these things.
Hey, shout out to the Jay-Z lawyer, nigga. He said he got lawyers like shooters, nigga.
There's people calling.
Got lawyers like shooters. Jay-Z got lawyers like gang bangers got shooters.
These are affidavits. They're filed in court. This is what you're dealing with here.
Shout out to the shooter ass lawyer.
And
nigga.
so this is
he's shooting shit up right now. He had a drum on him, nigga.
He gives a press conference.
Monkey nuts.
And he claims
boom, grenade launcher. Look,
2 days.
Look,
he is
pretty Busby. Look, this is a grenade launcher right here.
120.
Boom.
Anybody that does this for real, anyone that knows what they're doing, knows to corroborate, to interrogate, and to be sure about even one person takes weeks. Yeah. One person. You've got to find out if the story makes sense. Did they really get dropped off? Mm-hmm. Does any of it check out? Is there corroboration? Are there any witnesses?
Yeah.
It takes weeks for one. He had 120 in 2 days.
Oh, yeah. 120 in 2 days? Wait a minute.
He doesn't even enter his notice of appearance. He just has some other lawyer file and he holds these press conferences. He says, anybody out there, just call the 1-800 number. If you can put yourself anywhere near,
Oh, look out! Hey,
Sean
this is gonna be
Combs' party,
crazy news tomorrow.
at
This
any
is
point,
crazy.
at any point, we
Here.
can go after the other
Hey,
celebrities there. We can
you
make money
guys
together.
watching.
Just call the
You
one
guys
number.
cannot.
That's all you need to do.
You
Then we'll
can't
send the
deny
letter to the
that
celebrity.
this attorney
They're not going to want to
Anthony
have this in the
Busby
public life.
working
They're
this
going to be
way,
shaken down and they'll send us money. So just call the number.
not
And Mr. Carter said no.
on the up
He
and
said
up.
it's not going to happen anymore. I'm going to put my foot down.
Like he
and
said,
that's what
it takes
did.
weeks to
So I
vet
would urge any
one
other celebrity
witness,
that's being shaken
and you
down
getting
right now to do the
hundreds
same
of
thing and
witnesses
stand the truth.
in
None of
2
this ever
days,
happened.
and you
what
ain't
this 1-800
vetting
lawyer is
none of
doing,
them.
He's taking
You ain't making
justice
sure
away from this.
what,
He's
nothing?
destroying
They say it's
this,
true.
this opportunity and the
man.
voices of real victims,
That's true.
and it's got to end.
It's got to end.
So, are there any questions? Yes.
One question.
Sure.
So for the people that are calling your office, I'm assuming if it's not dismissed, like worst case scenario, and you guys move forward to try and show that everything you just told us, what evidence are you guys submitting other than the accounts they're giving you over the phone? Like, or do any of those people calling you like emails between them and Busby or text conversations where they're encouraging and stuff?
Yeah, so let me divide that question into two if I can. We expect the case to be dismissed. If it's not, eventually this will all crumble because it can't possibly have happened mathematically. You don't even need witnesses. They don't have any witnesses because this never happened, and you don't need witnesses because the time doesn't work. Just there's literally photographic evidence that proves that this could not have happened. In terms of what's going to happen to Mr. Busby for this racket and everything else going on, time will tell.
What y'all think?
But this is how things unravel.
What y'all think?
Yes, sir.
Time will tell for Busby.
Your firm ever hired them in connection with Tony Busby to investigate Tony Busby as he's alleged?
I don't know the firm, don't know those people, and the answer is no.
So this might just be an extension of the first question.
He just want his client home. That's all. I mean, not home. Jay-Z didn't get arrested. He just want
Yeah,
the case to go away. But
witness
he
that came
asking
forward
what
and
he's
contacted
saying is
my
he's not
office,
asking for 20
and
bucks to
submitted
do
an
this.
affidavit in court.
That's what one of the
regarding
questions
this
was.
That accounted for what occurred on that day, which was they called the Busby firm. They said they had an inquiry. The inquiry had nothing to do with Mr. Combs, Mr. Carter, or any of this. And the people at the Busby firm said, well, why don't we try to push this in the direction of the Combs case? That's a better decision in sum and substance. That's a better way to go here. This individual contacted my office.
Hey, now that's an explosive allegation right there. That's why my mouth just went.
Yes.
He's insinuating that the victim called the Busby office for something totally unrelated. Busby suggested to
after
this
the letter was
victim,
received, we obviously knew this
why
was
don't we
false
say
and we weren't going to be shaken down. So
you're one of those victims.
The efforts were nothing because there was nothing
Are you
to
kidding?
discuss in any meaningful way.
Are you kidding? Do you know who she is?
Yeah, it's a fair question because she's been blacked out in the video and because a court has not unmasked her in court. I'm not going to get into her identity. We'll notice that I did not get into some of her issues. I don't want to. It's really sad in many respects, and I don't want to get into that. So I'm not going to unmask her here today.
Ooh, so what's today? This was Tuesday, you guys. This was Tuesday, you guys. Well, you guys gonna watch the fallout of this in the next day or two. That's what we're gonna do. We finna watch the fallout of this. We're gonna see if this judge grants the dismissal of these allegations. These civil charges is what they are. These civil charges, because this is a civil case for monetary gain. It's not.
So we did file a motion to dismiss the day
criminal
after this was filed. The Rule 11 letter, which basically says that a lawyer is not allowed to do this. You're not allowed to not vet a claim and file a false claim in court. It needs to come down. The way that works, and it's a little technical, is that the court has to allow you to file faster than you should otherwise be allowed to file. So we are hopeful that the court will respond today. We will file that. If not, there are other things that we're going to do to bring the truth.
Oh man, they're not playing. They already got their ace in the hole. They say they got irrefutable evidence that proves otherwise already, but they're not even finna show their hand. They want this shit thrown out. It's a money grab.
There are dozens and dozens of people that are going to say
money grab from Jay-Z. And it's crazy because they've already lost corporate sponsors and stuff. I'm sure of it.
Remember,
the Super Bowl, I mean, the NFL had to consider if they were going to keep ties with Jay-Z. You understand? These are some crazy allegations, man. They lost a lot of, you know, shit.
So that
what they gonna do about Jaguar right then?
Of course, there are going to be people that are going to say that they were all out that night and nowhere near a White House.
Jaguar right crazy.
Went to have an after party to commercial establishment. This is all fantasy.
Yeah. What's she gonna do? Just keep talking on the internet about it? Let me hear what they talking about. Shh, shh. Let me hear what they talking about.
This issue with a lawyer taking advantage of the situation.
Yeah, listen, man, this is second. It's gonna be dealt with, bro.
I think sort of stay tuned. I think the first thing
Tony Busby's gonna be dealt with, bro. This is the second time he done said this, y'all. This is the second time he done said this, y'all. But anyway, that's the gist of it, man. We didn't got the gist of this, man. He's not playing though. This guy is not playing, bro. This Jay-Z lawyer is not fucking playing. He want Tony Busby's head on a platter.
Communications and
I promise you he do.
But I will say that
he keep telling y'all that he's taking advantage of people.
They were at commercial.
And he said the lady do have mental illness for real, for real. She got mental illness. She's a real victim.
He's upset that
she's a very real victim.
Somebody would be allowed to do this. They would make a mockery of
this. Is crazy.
He's upset that this distracts and dissuades real victims from coming forward. He's upset that his kids and his family have to deal with this. He's upset. They should be upset.
They asked about Jay-Z. He's upset. He's upset, he said. That's Jay-Z's lawyer, y'all. This is Jay-Z's lawyer.
Yeah,
Jay-Z's attorney, he got the dismissal. Y'all think he gonna get the dismissal? Y'all put a thumb in the chat if y'all think that the judge is gonna grant a dismissal of these charges, or thumbs down in the chat if y'all think Jay-Z is a diddier and he's the diddler and he's gonna get diddied with. Here, let's go watch OG Jacario's other video. Shout out to OG Jacario.
Zero. I don't know whether it's completely false or not, but
zero
connection to those people. Have no idea what that is. Don't know whether he made it up out of whole cloth. Don't know if he's trying to distract from what he's under now.
Yeah.
But no, there's no truth to that.
Wow. There's no truth.
Will Mr. Carter say anything more specifically about Mr. Combs?
No.
He didn't really address him in his statement, but anything since outlets.
Noteworthy about Mr. Combs. Why would he ask?
He didn't really in his statement.
What the hell? Why would he say something?
I mean, Mr. Carter has nothing to do with Mr. Combs,
right?
Or Mr. Combs. They knew each other professionally for a number of years, just like all professions. People know each other. At the musical.
Yeah, man. Yeah, let's get it. We're gonna watch it with Big Bro, y'all.
So
we're gonna watch it with Big Bro.
With the location.
We're gonna watch it with you, OG Jacario.
20 minutes, she arrived.
Yeah, he watching it too, y'all.
Driveway and a gate.
He watching it too.
There is no such location in New York, 20 minutes from Radio City. Does not
exist. That's how we gonna do it. That's how we do it over here. Pretty badass for the TV, man.
We don't know whether they created a location to try to get jurisdiction in New York, so they could bring this case in New York.
Shout out to the Hispanic.
Do their homework, but any New York, there is no such location.
I believe it dropped the Modelo.
This was supposed to have taken place at Mr.
Black and Brown, man. Black and Brown.
When you look at the homes associated with Mr. Combs during that period of time, and even not during that period of time, none of them matches. He had a townhouse, he had a house in the Hamptons, hours away, and he had homes in New Jersey, but not at that time.
Y'all probably missed all this.
The location doesn't work.
Y'all probably missed all this.
And again,
but this was the beginning of the video here
that
we already watched on our channel.
You quickly realize because there's photographic evidence and witnesses are coming forward that Mr. Carter was a commercial establishment.
Yeah.
After the VMAs, it wasn't at a house.
Y'all like, share, subscribe, y'all.
For them, they need to create this house in order to create the narrative. but he wasn't at a White House that did not
sharing this
exist.
video. They could probably give me a strike
location
for sharing this with y'all.
As we
Forbes
continue
News.
through this, the main dude does not say that the assault happened at a commercial establishment.
Right.
You can't. That wouldn't make any sense.
That
Yet
wouldn't
they
make any
stand
sense.
by it.
Right.
They double down. They triple down. White House.
This is why he
White
wants
House,
Tony
White
Busby
House doesn't exist.
taken care of.
And then we get to the witnesses.
Look,
And I think
the witness
everyone
is.
has to remember that in 24 years, not a single witness has ever come forward saying this happened. Quarter of a century. Think about that. She says she's at the party alone, this 13-year-old girl, and she finds herself in the room with the three most famous people at the party. Just think about how unnatural, how little common sense that makes. And
Also,
her,
police
one of the witnesses,
or whoever
is a
asked,
female celebrity.
I
who's just
think I
sitting there
remember that.
watching the repetitive rape of a child.
Somehow,
Does
I
nothing,
just
says
don't
nothing,
remember
reports nothing.
that.
And in fact, they won't even identify her. According to them, there's a female in the room watching the rape of a child. They refuse to
in the
identify.
middle of the motherfucking night,
So then we continue.
where you have
And
to
you
get
look
out
at
of
their
bed,
celebrities,
like,
she says she's
all the way across the motherfucking
afterwards, she
state,
says she runs out of the house.
5-6 hours.
House naked. None of
You'd
them
have remembered
none of them
that.
paid notice
That's
for
a whole
24
nother
years
city,
that has said
homie.
anything. And so
You
she's
drive.
just asked in this
They
interview.
say
she's
you
asked,
drove longer than 5. You
"Well,
drove 6 hours.
recognizable people. Surely you can
6
tell us
hours
one
you'd have
celebrity
drove
that was there.
just
Give
to
us their
get
names
there.
so that we know this happened.
Then you'll get there,
Benji Madden was there.
and your
She wants to
daughter
conjure
get
up
in.
religion.
She done
It sounds
called you go in the
religious. I
middle of the
remember
night,
this
so
back
she
then.
can't
She
tell
wants-
you
And remember
nothing's
so
wrong,
vividly
Dad.
too in the
there's
conversation
nothing
with Mr.
wrong.
Madden. Well, Mr.
There's
Madden
nothing
wasn't there.
wrong with me.
He already said he wasn't there. His tour schedule said
Open
she
him
really wasn't there. And he wasn't there because this never happened. None of this ever happened. And you keep going, and you ask
She
yourself,
can't-
well, who is this complaining with?
She can't say to
She
her
does not come
father,
forward with her
there's
real name.
nothing
She
wrong.
proceeds under Jane Doe. There's no report to the police.
She already
According to her, she never tells
This
anybody for
ain't
24 years. Not one person, not alone in the car for 5 hours at home, on her way home.
drove
Not one person, not a diary, not a family
6
member, not a
hours
friend.
back with
Most
his
people, when
daughter
this happens, there's a need to tell
with
somebody.
not a word
We call these
spoken.
prompt outcry witnesses. In most
According to
complaints
her,
like this,
not
people
one
tell
word
somebody. She says
spoken
nobody.
in the car
24,
for
25
6
years.
hours back.
And
Right?
then we get to the details.
He
And I
ain't
wanna,
stop for no
make sure this is
gas,
clear.
no
When
breakfast,
people
no.
make up an account, whether intentionally or their mind is playing,
That's
trick,
10 hours in motherfucking car.
they can always get that core part.
And
of
your
the story.
daughter
They can just keep
said she
repeating
was
it
distressed.
over and over and over again. This
Right?
is what happened, that core part. But they're always
Distressed.
going to mess up the details. When something isn't real,
She didn't
something
tell
doesn't
you what
happen,
was
you're
wrong.
going to get the details
But
wrong.
as
you
a
weren't really there.
father, you're
And
supposed
so
to
she starts
feel that
with her story
something's
about her friend that
wrong
dropped her
with
off.
your child, right?
This drive of over
Ah,
5
what's
hours.
wrong
The
with you?
friend
Maybe
would have had to
call
drive
me and
10
tell her,
plus hours to drop her off.
bro, hold
She's
me
gotta
in
get
and
there.
say,
This is real. She's got to get
what's
there.
up? What
But guess
happened?
what?
Hey,
This
why'd you
friend
get
of
out
hers,
that little city where I
she
thought she
doesn't
was
get
in
out
your
of the car.
room?
Right? Think about that. She's just leaving a 13-year-old girl alone in Midtown. She
I
doesn't even want to
climbed
get
out
out of
the
the car. She
window.
came all that way. There can't be a witness there.
Then where the
You can't
fuck
have
did you
a witness
been?
there because this never happened. So as you keep going,
That's what they say. Where you
you ask
fucking
yourself,
at?
but how did she end up in the car in the
you?
first place? And so she creates this story. She says, I
So
snuck out the
her
window.
father never asked
Right?
none of those.
Now we know she came from Rochester. So she
So-
would have been sneaking out of the window
So what ends up happening
in the middle
is,
of broad daylight.
so what ends up happening is by proxy, she has made her father a conspirator in this story of trauma, because your father is the one supposed to protect you, and you're saying he picked you up from your traumatic event, but didn't even think to ask you, daughter, what's wrong? Daughter, what happened? Daughter, where you been? So by proxy, he's at fault too.
Defies common sense. Doesn't make any sense because this never happened. And so she tells this story because she's got to create a way that she gets out of the house and ends up in New York City.
Right. Let's
And as we
see.
keep going here.
Yeah. Let's see how far bro go. because we went all the way to the end, didn't we, y'all?
Urge any other celebrity that's being shaken down right now to do the same thing and to stand with truth.
Ooh.
None of this ever happened. And what this 1-800 lawyer is doing.
Oh yeah, that's right. He did. We seen that. He talked about the the lawyer scam, telling people call him. Oh yeah, okay. So boom, that's the news. Yeah, boom, yeah. Here we go. Yep, it's almost over. He go all the way to the end though.
Communications and talk too much about that, but I will say that
all the way to the end
he
though.
was not at any house or any location. They were in New York City. They were at commercial establishments with lots of people around. This is obviously completely false.
How's Mr. Cobb feeling?
He's upset.
Oh, yeah.
He's upset that
questions.
somebody would be allowed to do this. They would make a mockery of the system like this.
Right.
He's upset that this distracts and dissuades real victims from coming forward. He's upset that his kids and his family have to deal with this. He's upset. They should be upset.
Right.
Is your firm
Yo,
investigating
her.
people around him that he's
I like this, man. Scratch my motherfucking face.
Yeah, that suit went nowhere, as you saw. And what happens when people bring frivolous cases and run rackets like this is, of course, we're asking questions. I've got people contacting my office telling me chapter and verse about him.
Yeah.
So we don't shut off the phone lines. I'm listening because I'm trying to figure out how this is allowed to proceed.
There might be an investigation on the boy. He said he got people calling his office, telling him everything about the Busby operation, man. Man, these motherfuckers attorney rotten. Ooh, they rotten.
I mean, do you have any connection to those men that he photographed?
Rotten.
Those men have any
Rotten.
Zero. I don't know whether it's completely false or not, but zero connection to those people. Have no idea what that is. Don't know whether he made it up out of whole cloth. Don't know if he's trying to distract from what he's under now. But no, there's no truth to that.
Right.
Anything else?
You shot's great,
but you shot late. Holla at him.
This is the Rundown Podcast.
Rundown.
I'm gonna give you the rundown.
Give us the rundown, bro.
I'm gonna give you the rundown.
He gonna give us the rundown,
We
y'all.
expect Mr. Carter to be fully cleared of all of this in the coming days.
Okay.
Almost nothing that she says has checked out because this never happened.
She says that she might have some facts wrong,
Hey,
but that she
this
says
is the
the
same
incident
news lady that
happened. What do you
interviewed
say to that?
the witness.
Anybody, when they make up a claim, they can just keep repeating it and getting it right. But you never get the details right. And what happened during her interview with you is that the story began to unravel.
This woman is standing by her story. It
So?
happened over 20 years ago. Maybe
So?
her memory is hazy. Maybe her
Yeah,
father
man.
doesn't remember that night.
Oh man, come on with that bullshit, lady.
No, she's doubled down on certain of these
That
details.
bullshit,
She says, I'm
lady.
positive. She
Maybe
points out the
this and
tattoo. She
maybe
talks
that.
about the tattoo in vivid detail. Turns out that's completely false. And the father is supposed to be picking her up. 10-hour
He
drive.
talking about
round
he
trip,
don't
pick her up
know.
in the middle of the night. Has no memory of that.
None.
No one has come forward about this in nearly a quarter of a century, and that's because this never happened.
Spyro said he's not only seeking justice for Jay-Z, he says that he also wants to expose the accuser's attorney, Tony Busby.
He takes away the voices from real victims
is
and he
suing.
causes real harm. If this
suing
lawyer has any
Busby.
sense, he's going to dismiss this claim. I don't know whether he has any sense.
Busby, who has filed more than 20 lawsuits since Combs, told NBC News that he is continuing to vet the accuser's claims
No,
and that
he
she has
ain't.
agreed to undergo a polygraph this week. A representative
That
for
don't
Combs
mean
called the
nothing.
suit
You'd have
a
already
shameless
gave her a
money grab.
polygraph.
Since your
Busby.
attorneys refiled
Fuck out of here. You'd have already gave
the
her one,
lawsuit against
homeboy.
Combs, naming Jay-Z, he has come out with a very long
Combs is in
statement
prison.
saying that this is completely not
Yes.
true
The
and that
feds,
this is
bro.
all about
So
trying to get money from him. What do you say
you just
about
trying to get
that?
some of that money, man.
I haven't asked for a dime from him.
She don't.
It's not.
She don't know.
not
She's just a
everything
missile.
is motivated
She's
by
a
money,
bullet
and I'm
in
sorry
Tony
that he feels
Busby's
that it
gun.
is.
That's all.
This woman also told us on camera last week that this isn't about money.
Well, let's be serious. A lawyer like this is not sending out these letters not to make money. He wants money and fame. He doesn't care about truth and justice.
What
And that's
does she?
what's going on.
What does that woman
Jay-Z's
think
team
she's
created
gonna
a
pay
timeline. Obviously, they are
her
even though this
lawyer?
took place allegedly 24 years ago.
If it ain't
that
about
they
money.
are saying that there is just no way that he could have been at the VMAs. He's on camera there until the end of the VMAs, which ended right after 11, and that there are photographs of him at the Lotus Club in Manhattan, and they say he was there till 3 a.m. and then he went to the music studio. So again, they are adamant that
he was not at that party.
He was not at any sort of after party.
Say man, hey man. It's
Hey,
OGG
man.
Party, yo.
Hey,
Nah,
man.
back at you with another one. And I had to come slide on the YouTube block because Jay-Z's attorney, that's right, Alex Shapiro, just did a press conference, and he's giving a detailed time.
Give him the rundown, bro.
And yeah, man, he laying it all out on the line. Look, he's saying at 3 p.m. that day of September the 7th, 2000, she had to sneak out the window because she said she didn't tell her parents. Right? She didn't say nothing. Just snuck out of that window right after school, I'm assuming. And we never got into that. We never heard if she was homeschooled.
Right.
You know, she went to public school. She had autism, is what they said.
Yeah.
So what was going on with that?
Yeah, they said
is
she
that
had
the correct
autism.
time she got home from school, right at 3 o'clock, for this timeline to unfold this way? Who knows? But this is what Shapiro laid out, right? And Jay-Z's attorney is saying, look, none of this stuff could have happened, you know, the way she's telling it, because according to his timeline, it doesn't fit. And if it doesn't fit, like OJ,
he must have quit. Like
Wow.
OJ.
Yeah.
He said.
And after this Jane Doe snuck out of that house in Rochester, right?
Yeah.
She got a friend, an unnamed friend that's now deceased.
Yeah, conveniently
Drive her 5 hours
deceased,
away
homie.
To Manhattan, to where the VMAs were taking place. Right. So she leaves Rochester with his friend, drives 5 hours away. The VMAs begins at 8 p.m. that night of September the 7th, 2000, right? And it ends at 11 p.m. according to Shapiro timeline. And a couple of things that were said was, you know, hey, guess what? The whole part where she said she walked up and she was knocking on windows and doors of limo drivers.
Yeah.
Right there in front of the VMAs.
Right.
Venue, the Radio City Hall where this took place.
Right.
Shapiro is saying, look, he talked to people. He vetted this, did the research, and they're saying that no limos was parked in front of this whole ordeal. And how did she talk to people that drove limos that wasn't parked there at all?
Right.
It was blocked off, you guys, because Eminem had his performance
Eminem performed there.
You've seen all the gates and
that
things
year.
of that nature keeping people back from these 100 lookalikes of Eminem while he was doing his outside performance leading into Radio City Hall. And you don't see any limos out there, is what Shapiro is saying. How could she have talked to somebody, you know, who drove a limo for Diddy?
Right,
you know,
right.
I mean, that's kind of a far-fetched, you know, statement to say.
Right.
Of all the limos that could have been out there for anybody, any of the stars.
Yeah, she just knocked on Diddy's window.
She talked to a limo driver who drove.
I told y'all earlier, he wasn't called Diddy then.
Nevertheless, there was a lot of inconsistencies with what Shapiro was saying. And in this timeline, as we heard, right? 11 p.m. is when the VMAs ended. And this so-called limo driver, right?
Diddy was killed this shit. And years after Diddy got killed this shit.
Puffies, right? At this party, he was coming back to get her. But check this out. Before we get that far, she stated that she watched this whole ordeal because she couldn't get inside of the VMAs on the Jumbotron.
The Jumbotron outside. Wasn't no Jumbotron there.
Jay-Z's attorney says, look, that year, MTV didn't even have the Jumbotron running. They didn't even rent it out that year to, you know, have showing the people that were outside what was going on inside. It's impossible. It couldn't have happened, right? So that was another inconsistency in her story that Shapiro pointed out.
I watched it on the giant TV upstairs.
It's not looking too good so far. There's a bunch of holes being poked.
There was no Ben Maddox.
Wow.
But Eminem was there. Why she didn't see him?
You know, she stood there and waited there, right? This friend had already left. And, you know, left this 13-year-old autistic child.
Just dropped her off.
In front of this Radio City Hall.
Friend drove her 5 hours, dropped her off, and left her.
You know, when this limo driver did come back from allegedly dropping off Combs' entourage, right? Well,
they never even said if the friend was male or female.
Right? Because Shapiro is saying that
talking like it was a girl.
Right?
Oh, it could have been her male friend.
It would be 40 minutes away. She said it was 20 minutes away.
13.
Well, maybe she got the
what grade is that? That's only 6th grade.
How long it takes to travel?
That's only 5th grade. Who the fuck?
No mansion.
You ain't even in high school.
Allegedly
you know,
in that
who
area,
the fuck you
right,
know driving?
York. But Shapiro is saying, look,
especially
that
driving
make sense.
5 and 6 hours away.
There are no mansions in that area, you know, that would take that short amount of time to get to.
Who's my kid?
And
We'll be
Shapiro
driving
told us that
somebody
Diddy didn't own no residences close to the VMAs, close to Manhattan. Not 20 miles away from the VMAs, not even 40, because this white residence, according to Shapiro, does not exist. But Puff did have some residence, you know, a couple of houses, a condo or whatnot in New York, but that was nowhere near what this
wherever Diddy's houses were
in the paperwork. Okay, it wasn't 20 minutes away.
Supposedly,
from the
they was hours away.
This lady is claiming.
So they'd have drove a whole nother 8 hours.
That being said,
they'd have drove another 3 hours from the VMA, I believe.
You know, placing this.
Her friend couldn't have left her.
Incident, right, in New York at a resident of Puffy's, just so they can have a valid claim to file this case. All right,
I get
and
it. I get it. They supposed to have a residence where it happened at.
Diddy even had.
So there ain't no residence, y'all.
Rented one or
There's
anything.
no residence that
around
it
that
happened
time
at.
Of the VMAs in 2000.
The lawyers saying.
So, and then, not to mention that, you know, Diddy and Jay-Z went at no mansion party straight after the VMAs because
those type of driveways don't even exist.
Right, at different events.
In that city.
At a club here and there. And this is not what she said in her story.
Man.
Okay. She said she went straight to the mansion party where Diddy and Jay-Z were at
she said.
already in the house.
Yeah.
And Shapiro was saying, no. Diddy and Jay-Z were at a club, all right?
Right.
So this is
that what she said, y'all.
That they would.
That is what she said, y'all.
Club in front of people, right? But hey,
and
nevertheless,
it did fall apart on the news. I told you I watched the news
and Shapiro
3 days ago,
gave us the
and I was like,
timeline of J-Lo and Diddy when they were together that night of the VMAs.
And I felt like the news people wasn't even asking the right questions.
So it had to be time for her to switch those outfits out. Right? You know, at the VMAs, she had on this all white with the white bandana on her hair. Right? And then she also had a different wardrobe on at the after party at the nightclub where they were started, and they said that, you know, reported by Daily Mail that J-Lo and Diddy had some type of argument, right? A heated argument that night. And she was pictured with different clothes on, and Shapiro, you know, he targeted in on that. So how did she change clothes? Where all that time go when, you know, they had to do all this if they went straight from the VMAs to a mansion party, right? This white residence where this Jane Doe says she was taken to, right? So when
where did they say who had time to change their clothes?
This is not adding up, right? Because at the end of the day, you know, they didn't go straight to a white residence for this after party. They went to a nightclub where Jay-Z and Diddy and
smoking in the
boardroom met up at. Okay, so
smoking in the boardroom.
This whole ordeal with this Jane Doe, you know, saying that she went straight to an after party at a white residence, a mansion, right? Yeah. Couldn't have happened, you guys, because these guys were at a whole different location. Okay, and then he went as far to even say that, you know, Jay-Z even went to the studio afterwards, okay, and never even went to a house at all.
At all.
So how could
he went to go bust his new
Jay-Z to did these things to her that night of this after party?
He went to rap, nigga. He went to go put it down on wax.
You know, Shapiro was saying, and so many ways he's clearing Puff's name also in this
case.
He
did, but I think he made a mistake when he said Puffy's name.
Both pictured somewhere else
because he ain't Puffy's attorney.
He's attorney, like she's claiming. And what I gather from that is Shapiro is basically saying, how can
Shapiro came out here? Is this Robert Shapiro's son?
At this all-white mansion.
Is this Robert? Is he related to the OJ's nightclub? To OJ's attorney, Robert Shapiro?
Diddy and Jay-Z now were pictured.
It just hit me, y'all. Just now
Of that party,
Shapiro
nightclub.
His name is Shapiro.
So, you know,
man, let
once
me look
again,
that
more
shit up.
inconsistencies is what Shapiro showed.
Look it up right
the
now.
Timeline of what the
Right
Jane Doe
now,
said.
right.
Shapiro entertained. He said, okay, well, it just say, you know, they did go straight to this so-called alleged after party at this white mansion.
Is Jay-Z's
Shapiro was saying the earliest that Combs could arrive at that white residence was 11:31. Okay. And this is after 11 p.m. after the VMAs ended. Okay, and then at 11:51 p.m., okay, 20 minutes later, that's what, you know, they're saying it took to drive to this residence, okay, this white mansion party.
Grant and
you know,
Grant.
Shapiro was saying that's impossible because there is no
whose name?
residence that to the VMAs 20 minutes away, right? So anyway, let's continue. So the earliest limo returns to Radio City to pick up this Jane Doe, who's 13 years old, right? At 11:51 p.m. Okay, let's just say, you know, this is, you know, her timeline of it.
What's Jay-Z's?
All right, and let's not forget that Shapiro was saying that Diddy went to two different after parties. Okay,
what's Jay-Z's attorney's name?
He stated that Jay-Z only went to one nightclub where Diddy and
Alex.
Jay-Z was spotted at.
Oh, Spiro. This nigga keep calling him Spiro.
Limo and Jane Doe arrived at the white residence. According to her timeline, right?
This ain't no motherfucking
now,
Spiro.
she's saying that, you know,
his name is Alex Spiro.
37 minutes of her having to leave that white residence and running out of that door after this alleged incident took place with her, Jay-Z, and Diddy and this unnamed celebrity B female that witnessed this whole
I gotta go grab my
place.
blunt, man.
Now check this out. So at 12:11, she gets to the white residence in the limo, and at 12:48 is the latest that the Doe leaves the white residence. Okay. And in that time, that's only 37 minutes for this to occur, which is, you know, active amount of time to do something like that. But check this out. She has to get away from this after party, right, to go to this gas station. And that takes 42 minutes is what Shapiro was saying, according to his timeline. This is where the Jane Doe calls her father at this gas station. It takes her 42 minutes to get to this gas station from this white residence where she just ran out of that mansion half naked. Nobody said nothing. Nobody noticed nothing at all. You know, drug fuel rage, you know, orgy that was going on. Nobody seen nothing going on with this 13-year-old girl, allegedly, right? And at 6:29 a.m. is the latest that the Doe was picked up by the father after she made that 1:30 a.m. call to the father to come pick her up, and he had to drive 5 hours, which put him in Manhattan, you know, New York, to pick her up at 6:29 a.m. that morning. Okay,
right.
So, you know, and then the dad said he doesn't recall
none of that
at all. He doesn't recall having to drive 10 hours to pick up his daughter.
That's
in
crazy.
The year 2000.
Yeah.
So all these inconsistencies is what Alex Shapiro laid out on this timeline table,
right?
And how things just does not make sense.
Not at all.
This Jane Doe is saying all this unfolded in the amount of time that she said it unfolded within.
Right.
Okay. And a lot of people are saying this is not looking too good for Tony Busby and his firm trying to prove this lady's case that she told nobody about.
Busby,
a quarter of a
Busby
century.
looked like he in trouble, y'all.
And she went without saying nothing at all.
Attorney Busby's in trouble,
now,
y'all.
Now Busby is saying that, hey, look,
they want to investigate.
This case was given to me by somebody. Somebody referred this case to me, and they vetted it. They investigated it before they gave it to us, right? These claims are valid. But now Busby
that ain't
saying,
somebody else's job, Busby.
Now we have to vet more. We have to vet this.
That's your job, Busby.
You know, we thought it was all laid out for us. And now it's looking like Busby did not do the research. He was given this case, right? Given the alley-oop, he thought. But it's not that easy because Alex Shapiro and Jay-Z, they're coming at this thing at all angles. And Shapiro pointed out it's the little things.
He made an allegation.
Matter, right? The small things. With her saying that
Shapiro made an allegation, nigga.
And went with this friend to go to
real allegation
Manhattan from Rochester, which is 5 hours away.
A foul lawyer play.
She just snuck out the window and left.
Right
now, she comes back and she says a different statement when she calls her dad to come pick her up. She says that she lied about her whereabouts. Well, either you snuck out the house and didn't say nothing to your parents, or you lied about their whereabouts.
Right.
You said you didn't say nothing at all. So how could you lie about your whereabouts? You didn't say nothing. So little things like that is what Shapiro pointed out.
Oh, they saying
timeline.
She lied to her parents about where she was. No, I think she trying to. And she didn't put her father into this shit.
None of this stuff could have happened the way she said it,
by saying
in the timely manner that she put it in. You know, right? In order for her to
talk to him
have these things happening to her, and then getting back home by a certain time.
Man, you were 13, girl.
After her dad had to travel 5
you
hours.
13
and 5 hours back home. So it just didn't make sense to Shapiro. That's how, you know, he put this timeline together. And he's clearly putting it on the line saying that, hey, Jay-Z is upset that this man is able to put out these claims, these allegations against him without vetting any type of information before doing so. And not to mention, Shapiro made another good point. And if she was out of it, as she claimed, right, with this drink, something was put in her drink.
That's right.
She said
how did she get so far?
How was she able to run almost 42 minutes from
naked.
this white residence, 42 minutes away to a gas station that she claimed she
On
noticed on the way
adrenaline.
there, right?
On adrenaline.
You're supposed to be out of it.
Get all the way
woozy. How are you running 42 minutes to a gas station? Just doesn't make sense.
42 minutes.
And it was very masterful. Alex Shapiro.
I told you it was.
Jay-Z,
it was very Perry
words,
Mason.
Right, that phrase. That's because it never happened. Right, and that sticks in your mind, you guys, and the way he lays this whole timeline out. It sure makes me believe it never happened neither, because it's just impossible how he, you know, presented this, that this could have took place in the timeline that she claims happened, you guys.
Right.
And with the father saying that this is not something that he would just totally forget, right? Having to drive 10 hours to go pick up his 13-year-old daughter from New York.
From New York.
Rochester.
Right.
It's a 5-hour trip here and 5-hour trip back there,
if not longer. And she said they ain't talk about nothing.
Forget that
on the way
so,
home.
You know, hey,
nothing. Not a word spoke.
Who took on
all
this
silence
was referred to him, right?
Are you
kidding? And a lot of people were thinking Busby did his own research.
Me why I got
and
out
maybe
the
he
bed.
did do some research, but just not
baby
enough.
Girl,
thinking that
you got to tell me what's wrong with your head.
Had already vetted,
baby girl.
You know, did all the research that was needed to go forward with the claim.
Where you was at?
Now, Shapiro was telling us how he feels like Tony Busby took advantage of this lady in the story, right, to make a little cash, couple of shekels,
part, y'all.
Right?
That's
and also
bad.
get a little fame.
You can't take advantage of mentally ill people.
Jay-Z and Diddy,
you can't take advantage of elderly people.
And it's not looking too good, you guys, because now everything is starting to crumble. Right? The cookie is starting to crumble.
You will get charged with handicap abuse.
Looking too strong at this point.
What is wrong with him?
Let us know also that look, just because
he's trying to put it off on somebody else. Tony Busby is Anthony Busby, lawyer. He's trying to put it off on the firm that handed him this case.
The angle he came
here's a chest pass.
Puff and Diddy not really being.
We don't want it.
Think they are.
But you know, you're the just, man for justice.
Two friends that get together
down Diddy
from time to time, and they have a couple of drinks.
Fuck out of here,
party with each other, and they support each other.
You better have your ducks in a row, bro.
So basically,
it's got their ducks in a row.
Jay-Z is not affiliated with Diddy.
And let me tell you something.
Any type of way.
If Jay-Z was any type of affiliated.
This is Chet.
Feds would have got his ass too already.
Sure Busby is sitting back.
Cat Williams said it was the age of truth. It was the year 2024.
He broke down
the FBI investigations against Diddy.
Is brought to the table with these allegations, and Shapiro is saying, "Look,
he knew
this does not, you know, add up." So, what's your move now?
What's your move now, buddy?
Shapiro has put it all on the line.
That's right.
And Shapiro was also pointing out that other lawsuits that Busby filed have already been exposed as shams, right? And you know, this information that he had in other lawsuits didn't add up as well, and it was proven. And Shapiro just thought that he might point that out in his demonstration. His PowerPoint.
It's everywhere, y'all.
His timeline.
This shit ain't
he put together of Busby's client.
This shit everywhere, y'all.
Claiming these allegations against Jay-Z.
It's NBC News right here.
Jay-Z. And when asked why is
Jay
she doing this now, is it all
Did
because
you
of
Jay-Z?
It's not just because of the money.
Did Jay-Z?
It's not why she's coming forward now.
Did you do it to him? Did he?
She said she wanted to,
you
know, finally tell her truth and get this out of the way. All right,
pause, y'all.
Get some justice.
No,
but
did he?
This is a civil case. So how are you not looking for money when at the end of the day, that's all that can be done?
That's all that's
in
here.
A civil case itself.
It's money, y'all.
Gain,
it's money.
Right?
That's all.
So it just doesn't make sense.
That's what a civil case is, y'all. Money.
When they're not going at Jay-Z criminally,
that's it.
Like Jay-Z dared Busby to do.
That's it.
Look, if I did these things, that's horrible. Come at me criminally. Lock me.
That is
up.
what Jay-Z said.
Why are you only coming at
I
me
wouldn't do it. If
Some-
I did these nasty things, y'all need to go to the police.
And
what are you going
Alex
to Tony
Shapiro
Busby
saying,
for?
None of this stuff.
Go to the police.
Even happen. So y'all get in the
Go to the
comment section.
feds.
Y'all let me know what y'all think about this entire
Feel me?
Because Alex,
go to the feds or the police. Don't go to Busby. That's all we saying, man. But I got a lot out of that, y'all. Like, share, subscribe, man. I'm out of here, man. It's late. I'm tired, man. Really badass butter TV. Hopefully, this shit ends better than what it looks, man. But we got the Super Bowl coming up in 2025, and Jay-Z is the head of that. So Jay-Z gonna get booed at the football game and all this shit, and he losing corporate sponsorships. And I heard something today about they had to move out the mansion, and oh man, I don't know. This shit crazy to me, y'all. And I'm just on the outside looking in, and I'm gonna report it as I get it, man, because that's what I do. That's what I'm here to do. I'm Jake Tapper, presto. But I didn't used to be a rapper, but I could rap because I'm black. No, I'm just playing. Man, I'm out of here, man. Give me a thumb or something, man. Like, share, subscribe, man. Y'all come over. If y'all on Rumble, stay out the jungle. If you on YouTube, keep it cool, dude. We out, though. We gone. I'll be back tomorrow with some more shit. I'll be back with some more stuff. We out.